I want to talk about the Hawks really quickly because it's just been like a black hole for coaches. DeJounte Murray was tasked to help Trae Young. What does this tell you? Because the worst place to be in the NBA is the middle. We know this time and time again. And aside from that Eastern Conference Finals run, Trae Young hasn't really done shit with the Hawks. You know, he's been very exciting. He's made great plays, but it kind of seems like the Hawks are who they are right now. If you trade DeJounte Murray, are you seriously considering trading Trae? I think I would, because I just see the writing on the wall. Like, what else are you going to get with this team? I just don't see it. What do you think when you look at the Hawks, the staff, record label, and MF and crew? What do you think?
Well, what I immediately think off the top is there's something up top. Doesn't necessarily mean ownership or something like that. But in this instance, I think it's hard to build. Just being fair, man. Like, it's hard. Who would trade for Trae Young?
I wouldn't.
I would ask you the question. No, and I don't mean it to be. I mean, I'm sure there people would, but who would be like clamoring to give up major assets to get Trae Young, thinking that adding him to what they have is getting them over the hump?
I don't think no contenders.
No contenders, right? And so I only say that to highlight that, like, the style of play with which he plays, albeit electrifying and can maybe get you to a certain level, it's really hard to get the recipe right around that. It's electrifying. It'd be a nightmare to guard. It produces some hella highlights, but to get the recipe right around that is an absolute headache. Yeah. It's a headache, and it is not an easy thing to do. And so when I asked you, would people trade for him? Like, look, I get it what the fans going to say, but it's fucking Trae Young. Like, do you see what he did? I know, I hear you. And I would also tell you that, like, when people are trying to win championships, it ain't just about how electrifying he is. It's how can we support that electrifying talent in a way that helps it get to a championship level? And with that specific size, talent, personality combination, it's really hard.
You just throw hella shooters around him, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like, is that because I just think about Iverson as a short guy. All right, that's y'all best.
Those days are over, though, where we could grind you out like defensively, and AI could have 45 and we win a game. Like, that's not those days don't exist anymore. If I'm the Hawks, I probably am in the mode of, if I can, you know, but I'm also not the one sitting there counting their receipts and counting, you know, how much money they make off of the attend. Like, I'm just looking at it from a winning perspective. There's more that goes into moving the face of your franchise than that.
One last one, and I think it's like the biggest conundrum of the trade season, and that's Zach LaVine, right? And it's not because of his ability; it's more because of the salary. And he has 3 years left on his deal, worth $137.9 million. With
anywhere
with Zach, but you take it anywhere. You take him anywhere. Because here's the thing: like, you think about the Lakers, right? Like, their impact. If you take a Zach LaVine, you're taking 3 years of him. On one hand, I see that, right? And I see that argument. But on the other hand, I saw Russell Westbrook get traded like 3-4 times on this massive deal that no one said could get moved. Same with Chris Paul. Like, if you like him, you should just go get him. You can get up off of him.
I agree with you 100%. I think that's the way you would look at that if you're the Lakers. You don't have the luxury of quarreling over some money right now. You don't. Now, if you
Air money don't make money.
It doesn't. And I only say that because you have LeBron. When you get LeBron and Anthony Davis in a window of time, like, you've got to be making the moves that get you to a championship, or that you think get you that much closer to a championship. And if it means taking on, you know, like Zach LaVine is, I don't think he's a Russell Westbrook in that. And I love Russ. You know, ain't nobody talking, ain't no Russ slander on this pod. So for those who haven't heard me say that in a while, a refresher course.
You know.
Just so you know, don't come in my mentions with that bullshit. But he doesn't have the history, I don't think, that Russ does with you know, not being able to, you know, shoot the ball and having to have it all the time, and not to the degree that Russ did. And so I look at his skill set and his explosiveness and his ability to get downhill and get to the rim, his ability to catch and shoot, his length and explosiveness. And I think that even though the contract is a big contract, the Lakers, I don't think that you get to have both. I don't think that you get to have LeBron, Anthony Davis, and this window of championship time available to you and say no to deals that get you closer to that. I don't think Laker fans let you live in that space. They shouldn't. You don't get to have both of those things. If you're all in, you're all in.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing that I don't know, because I think Windhorst said that there's no way that LaVine is coming to the Lakers or going to the Lakers, and we'll see if that comes to bear. But that's the biggest thing that I think with all these contenders. Like, yo, if you want to, here's another thing. If you want to win a championship in the NBA, guess what that shit costs? It costs bread. It costs money. You're going straight into the luxury tax. It doesn't matter. Like Indiana wants to be a title contender. Guess what? They're going to have to break bread or fake dead. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's
straight up.
Right? Like, who won the last time? Look at
that caught me off guard.
Right? Just like, yo, if you go do it, you go do it. You think about the Warriors a couple years ago, most expensive roster in NBA history. If you go like last year, you look at a luxury tax, it's gonna happen. You have to spend it. So that's what it thinks about the hesitation, not even just for this Lakers team, Raja, but like every other team was like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend money. Do you want to win a championship or not?
Yeah.
If you don't and just want to win playoffs, like if you want to just hemorrhage money, then fine. But like, you're not going to win a title. If you're not spending money.
Listen, it's pretty much as simple as that. You have to go out and take the swings at things that at least in your mind are getting you right there. Now, again, just because you do that doesn't guarantee you a chip. There are a lot of things that have to go right, man.
That ain't even just an NBA. That ain't even just an NBA, Raja. That's every sport, bro. And I'm tired of hearing that always in the NBA. Like if you go to soccer, like you think about the cost it takes to winning fucking Champions League. It's a lot of money. Like it's a lot. NFL, it's a lot of money.
So Zach may not go to the Lakers, and that's fine. But when you're asking me if I were someone, would I swing a deal to get Zach to the Lakers? The answer is yes, I would.